Okay, Cody Gakpo to Liverpool. All right. So is this the biggest screw up for the January window, or did we just dodge a bullet? Salam sejahtera and welcome to JomUnited. We are Malaysian Manchester United fan channel. Yes, dengan bangganya Buatan Malaysia. Okay, guys. So this is officially the first episode after the World Cup. Okay, the return of the English Premier League. Alright. So as a Manchester United fan, I'm sure supposedly all of us we are very very happy because United will be playing in less than maybe 6 hours time and whatnot. But this morning, the shocking news. Cody Gakpo to Liverpool just happened. All right, so this could be the first of many screw-ups in the January window. All right, so before we we dive further into this discussion, all right, I'm just gonna ask Doc first because I believe you actually watched the whole World Cup. Pretty much every games you actually followed, right? So, what is your take on Cody Gakpo as a player? All right, as a player, any characteristics that you feel that he's actually impressed you?
I think if you ask me, I think he would be a good addition to the side, lah. Right. First of all, I think if you look at our bench or even our bench strength, we look very light, right? Now that Ronaldo's gone, Sancho is gone to train on his own, and that leaves us a bit light. I mean, we've got Martial, who I'm not taking it out on you, Coach Tom, but to be honest, he's frequently injured. Okay, you got Rashford, who's now finding his form, but again, let's hope he keeps up his form. We're depending a lot on Garnacho, right? And we saw in the Burnley game he was very ineffective. So we do really light up front, and I think if you look at our last few games as well, we were having problems breaking down sites, especially low block sites as usual. And if we don't have that kind of player to give us something different, we could be in a lot of trouble. Now, back to Cody Gakpo, I think he's not an out-and-out striker, as many believe. He did play up front together with Memphis for Holland. But what he does bring is, speed. I think he's a good finisher. He gets into good positions,
Yes.
right? And he can play on either side as well. So he would have been a welcome addition, although he may not be as an outlaw striker that we need, but he would have been a good addition, definitely, to the squad. I forgot to mention Anthony. Anthony has also been in and out, right? He scored goals, but he's been missing in a lot of games as well. So, yeah, definitely been a good addition for us.
Okay, Jai, Cody Gakpo ni kalau sejujurnya lah, right? Kalau sebelum kita link dengan dia, memang saya tak kenal player ni daripada PSV, memang tak kenal lah, right? Kerana kalau Liga Belanda ni, saya rasa cuma Josh seorang saja yang tahu atau maybe Smurf yang tahu lah. Okay, tapi you rasa sebagai fan Manchester United, okay, kita rasa memang tension, frust pasal kita link pasal media linkkan kita dengan player ni, atau memang you rasa kita memang miss out on something yang sangat bagus lah? Apa pendapat you?
Okay lah, kalau nak cerita pasal media punya permainan ni, kita memang daripada dulu dah dipermainkan oleh dengan media. Media ke, fan favourite ke, memang kita dah dipermainkan. So, soalan dia sekarang, adakah Erik ten Hag memerlukan Gakpo ataupun tidak? Ataupun Glazer punya kegagalan? Ada dua persoalan. Kegagalan daripada Glazer ataupun Erik ten Hag tidak memerlukan Gakpo. Tapi for me, as a personal punya pendapat, kalau nak dibandingkan position Gakpo tu, kita, sorry to say lah, kita bersepah banyak. Anthony, Sancho, whatever lah, Pelestri, Ahmad, apa-apalah yang kita nampak. Sebab sekarang ni, bila Ronaldo keluar daripada United, terminate dia punya kontrak, kita memerlukan satu striker yang apa orang panggil? Pure striker. Pure striker. We need the pure striker. Sorry to say, Martial belum ataupun tak sampai tahap lagi as a pure. Tapi kita nak cari satu pure striker yang betul-betul. So for me, tidak ada rasa tidak ada rasa kerugian kalau kita tidak ada. Kalau kita tidak ada dapat Gakpo. Mungkin sekarang ni pasukan-pasukan yang beli Gakpo mungkin dia rasa Gakpo tu perlu. Kalau kita tengok contohlah, kalau Liverpool ambil Gakpo, sebab sekarang kita nampak kalau tak silap Diaz siapa injured. Sorry lah, Lollipop injury. So diorang lebih memerlukan, dan adakah dia gagal ataupun tidak kita tak tahu. Tapi for me, pendapat Gakpo kalau nak katakan dia punya cara permainan, function dia, kita sebenarnya ada. Yang paling besar sekarang ni, persoalan dia Eric Ten Hag memerlukan ataupun tidak. Itu saja. Ataupun Glazer memang gagal lah.
Dom, maybe I can just add in as well, right? I mean, yes, we are looking for an out-and-out striker, but how many out-and-out strikers are there? The good ones have already been sold in the last window, right? Alvarez, one of them. I think the Enzo is probably going to Real Madrid, things like that. Now, what then do we have? We only have Martial. And if Martial is not around, then probably Rashford can play in that position. Okay, just say Martial is injured and Rashford goes in that position, then your left and right becomes very weak. Who do we have? Anthony on and off playing well, Garnacho decently okay, Ilanga who's quite bad this season as well, right? So then if you had Gakpo, right, it then gives you that option to move Rashford into the center. So it would give you options even though he's not an out and out striker. And considering his price was about 37 million for a player of his potential. I think it's quite a decent buy, even though it goes up to 50 million.
I think Donovan actually mentioned, right, the other thing is that the target gets sold cheaper to other clubs and a huge markup when being sold to United. I think early on they were talking about 60 mil and whatnot, if I'm not mistaken. And then I think add-ons, I think Liverpool got a good deal of 50 mil with add-ons 37 plus add-ons to 50 mil.
Yeah, and people say don't buy players off the back of a good international tournament, right? But Gakpo is somebody who has been on our radar at the beginning of last season as well, right?
Yeah, just the thing, just to add on to, to what Jai mentioned, that probably it's either Eric Ten Hag doesn't want this player or it's a major screw up by the Glazers. All right. Basically, for those who don't know, Cody Gakpo and Eric Ten Hag, they actually share the same agent. All right. Yeah. So based on what Fabrizio Romano mentioned last night, the deal is pretty much between manager and the player is already agreed upon. The manager wants the player wants to come to Manchester United, but apparently it all depends on Manchester United whether they are willing to spend such an amount of money. All right. So players aside, regardless whether Jai already gave his point of view, regardless whether the player actually suits our system and whatnot, right? Do you feel that you're worried in any way, right? That the manager, regardless of whichever player, this is a player that clearly the manager wants, right? And the club does not support the manager, especially right now, right? Where we can see in the table right now, right? We can pretty much actually challenge for top 4, even top 3, if we get the correct reinforcements coming in. So do you think that maybe Glazers, in a way, they want to sell the club, they just want to save some cash and whatnot? What's your take on that?
Yeah, I agree. It's totally wrong if you brought in a manager, okay? First of all, he came in early in the preseason. He wanted to get things started. Even at that point of time, they failed to really back him in the transfer market, and all the signings came in late, right? And that resulted in the season, the starting that we had, the very poor start that we had. Imagine if we had got those players earlier on in preseason, you could have worked on things. We might not have actually had those bad results, right? That would have actually propelled us further. Now, again, this season is going to be, and I said it before, right? This season is probably going to be one of those awkward seasons, something like the COVID season, you had a World Cup suddenly in between, players come back late, some players are coming back early, some players are coming back late. So each club will have their individual issues. And if we have a set team, right, it will be good to take advantage of this. And that is what actually Arsenal have done before this and going to coming back since the World Cup as well. They got off to a decent start yesterday. So going back to that now, if they brought in a manager early, then you need to back the manager. I don't see how, and maybe I'm not a finance expert, right? How this consolidation of your funds is going to help your selling, right? You're still going to sell the club anyway if you're really planning to sell it, and people are going to buy it anyway, right? No matter whether you spend in this window or not. But the thing is, now, you also want to garner interest of people want to buy the club with success on the pitch. I know people know this club is huge, but people also know now that this is a club in a sort of turmoil behind the scenes, right? Various managers have come out and said things. Van Gaal has come out and said things. Mourinho has come out and said things, right? So people already have that idea. Now, if you don't back the manager again, and you don't have that success on the pitch, you just say once we come back, say we lose a few games and drop down the table, again that level of interest and people want to buy the club for such a huge amount of money will be less and less.
Okay, wait, we got a comment here by Donovan David. Alright, promote the juniors. Right, Jai, ini I think sebelum ni episod banyak kita pun selalu discuss benda ni. Even end of last season, masa sacking manager, pertukaran manager, kita pun ada cakap pasal benda ni. Alright, so promote the juniors. Okay, so apa pendapat you dengan season yang kita ada sekarang, tengah-tengah season ni? Okay, you rasa idea bagus tak untuk promote the juniors buat masa sekarang?
No lah, kalau kita tengok pre-season, kita dah bawa junior kita masuk pre-season. Okay? And then, adakah kita nak berada di tahap mana? Di benchmark mana? Kita nak pergi ke champion ataupun kita nak pergi top 4 ataupun kita nak pergi just duduk dekat middle. It's not about, ini bukan cerita pasal junior ataupun ini beli player ke ataupun tidak. Ini adalah hala tuju kita. Erik Ten Hag, dia baru angkat Manchester United untuk this season. So kita kena, kita memang boleh cakap kita ambil junior. Tapi for me, kalau ambil junior sekalipun, tapi kalau kita tidak ada gameplay, kita tidak ada kita punya cara permainan kita sendiri dengan keputusan yang positif, and then itu tidak ada point untuk kita nak dapatkan ataupun nak ambil player junior. Sebab sekarang pun kita dah masukkan Garnacho, kita dah masukkan Elenga, kita dah masukkan a few people daripada academy. So untuk sekarang, petikan daripada Erik Ten Hag kata, kita sudah kehilangan satu striker. Dan kita perlu ada satu striker yang betul-betul striker, pure striker, bukan wing out in whatever lah. Kita kena ada satu pure striker. Memang sebelum ni last season Manchester City dia champion sebab dia tidak ada striker pun. Tapi this season dia ambil Haaland sebab dia perlukan pure striker. So berbalik pada soalan tadi, kita punya hala tuju Erik Ten Hag sendiri, kita kena tahu sama ada Erik Ten Hag perlukan apa dan tidak perlukan apa. Itu yang paling mustahak.
Okay, maybe I tukar soalan dia sikit. Dengan junior yang kita ada, mampukah mereka membawa kita untuk pergi ke level Ten Hag nak buat masa sekarang?
Kalau katakan Erik Ten Hag tahu sendiri dia perlukan semua junior, kenapa dia beli Anthony? Kenapa dia perlukan Eriksen? Kenapa dia beli Casemiro, world player punya level? So, kenapa dia jual player lain? So, dekat sini, kalau betul-betul dia perlu junior, sebab kalau kita tengok pun, tradisi, dia tidak akan semua dia tukar. Dia akan naikkan a few player muda. Dia tak akan tukar semua. So, dekat sini, kalau ada junior yang betul-betul pure striker dekat Manchester United, dah tentu dia akan bawa. Tapi sekarang tidak ada. Ada Neil yang seorang tu. Tapi dia belum capai tahap lagi. Garnacho yang terus naik. Muda lagi.
Okay, we got a comment by Sandeep. Mbappe, 23 years, World Cup proven best league in the world. If anything, he will probably go to Man City lah. He wouldn't come to Man United lah. I highly doubt he will come. Because of what Marcus Rashford did to him last time. I think actually went and rubber his head last time.
Actually, can I just touch on the youth, Coach Dom?
Yeah.
Again, right? It's a good question, right? Whether you want to bring in your youth, and we have a few good players that people are asking for. Savage, Iqbal, but number one, that is not the position that we are facing issues. Like Jai said, we are facing issues with strikers. That's one. Secondly, if they are to come into a set team that is doing well, that's okay. Coming in expecting them to do the job week in, week out is not that straightforward. Okay, I mean, even and again, we've been, I don't know whether to say blessed or in a sense also spoiled by the class of 92 lah. Okay, but even those guys were bedded in slowly by Fergie. A few seasons, they had 1 or 2 games before that, and then even in the Coco League Cup at the time. But the thing is, they took their chances. Now, in our friendlies, at the beginning of the season, we saw a few. They're doing okay. Mid-season, we had a couple of friendlies. I mean, we got whacked by low level Spanish teams, right? And none of them really had an outstanding performance there. Now, if you are going to try and force your way into the first team plans, then you will need to take these kind of opportunities. Some people say it's just a friendly, but yeah, correct. But if you really want to then push your agenda onto making the first team, you need to take these chances. These are the chances that you get, and you need to really perform in those games, which sadly to say, we didn't. Now, even the young players who are playing now, Garnacho has been quite okay so far, except for the last game. But look at Ilanga. He came in, he did well initially, then he just struggled, to gain that kind of consistent level of performance. That would be the issue of bringing in the youth. I mean, unless they're really, really good lah.
Yeah. Or unless the Glazers decide to just write off this season.
How many seasons we want to write off? This is what I heard last season.
This will be the last already. This will be the last. No more already. So the final nail in the coffin. Just finish it, save 50 million for their holiday in the Bahamas.
Look, I mean, we're in a decent position in the
Malaysia,
league.
We take you around.
We're in a decent position in the league, right? We are still in all the cup competitions. And anybody can see that you don't have that squad depth. A few injuries. Okay, let's just look at it lah, right? Now the moment Varane and Martinez not around, who do we have? We have only Maguire, Lindelof. Back to square one.
Casemiro can play.
Casemiro. But then you risk losing a good player in the midfield lah, right?
True.
Again, so our squad depth is not there. And I think a couple of injuries, like if up front, just say Rashford or Martial gets injured, you're struggling, you're struggling for a good forward, you're struggling for good wingers. So that would be the problem.
Actually, up front right now, right? Actually, we're pretty much super thin. With Ronaldo going out, plus Sancho going through his psychiatrist therapy or whatever it is he's going through right now, right? So it leaves us with who? Garnacho, Rashford, Martial, Anthony, Ilanga. But Ilanga, I think many of us we agree that Ilanga is not up to par. So Pellistri hasn't been playing with the first team also. And then I don't think he really Pellistri, he didn't really have a good World Cup. Although I'm sure there's a couple of us that actually rate Pellistri. But then for him to actually gel and whatnot, it will actually take time. And also we can actually see that maybe Erik ten Hag, if he does play Pellistri, it's out of desperation. Okay, for me personally, what I see is not out of appreciation of his skills and talents like what he's actually doing for Garnacho. So he might not be a proper fix for this sinking ship, I would say. All right. Okay. What happened to Greenwood? All right. So another player who is out of our squad right now, Greenwood. I think we have probably seen the last of Greenwood already. All right. Okay, so maybe, all right, Jai, sebagaimana yang saya cakap tu, pada pendapat you, right, season ni you rasa Glazers tu dia memang nak write off season ni atau maybe in the background ada plan, okay, because kita ada link dengan satu lagi player, nama dia João Felix, okay, yang main satu negara dengan Bruno Fernandes, dengan of course Cristiano Ronaldo lah, and also Vlahovic, another one. Idek actually mentioned, which is a good name of a striker. Knowing that sekarang Juventus ada masalah isu kewangan sekarang dan banyak isu lah dia orang lah. So maybe ini peluang keemasan untuk kita ambil player ni lah. So apa pendapat you dua player ni, Vlahovic dengan João Felix?
Sebelum Cristiano atau selepas Cristiano Ronaldo diterminatekan dia punya kontrak, kebiasaannya satu foundation macam organisasi macam club Manchester United ni dah ada backup plan. Whatever. Dia mesti ada backup plan. Sebab diorang punya plan bukan plan untuk hari ni punya. Diorang buat keputusan, mesti diorang dah buat keputusan, mesti ada backup. So for me, jangan risau lah pada I lah. Berkemungkinan lah 80% kita akan ada satu striker. Even Vlahovic ke, João Felix ke, Iga Halo ke, whatever. Backson JDT ke, kita mesti ada satu striker. Whatever. Sebab Ronaldo is a key player kita sebelum ni. Dia adalah God kita pun tahu kan. So,
Bukan
dia
semua,
keluar,
bukan semua. Bukan
Bukan
semua.
semua.
Bukan semua,
And itu and dia penting tu last season je. A lot of people forgotten that last season dia top scorer. Dah lupa dah.
Itu namanya tak kenang budi namanya. So whatever pun mesti ada backup. Eric Ten Hag mesti ada backup. Kenapa Eric Ten Hag buat friendly match masa diorang ada World Cup? So benda ni semua dah plan. So kita tak boleh melompat boundary apa yang diorang tengah plan. So kita kena tunggu dan bersabar. Sebab kita tak ada striker, kita hanya ada Martial ataupun Rashford. Tapi kita memang perlukan pure. Eric Ten Hag pun dah buat statement, dia perlukan satu striker yang pure striker. So whatever you all letak lah, nama siapa-siapa, bla bla bla, whatever, Valovic ke, Backson ke, whatever. Tetapi dia ada plan dia sendiri. Dan tak mustahil kita akan dapat the world striker, world class punya. Bukan biasa-biasa punya.
Okay, hold sekejap. I nak tanya Doc pula, okay? So with what I asked Jai just now, right? A few names, right? Vlahovic, we got João Felix, and another one I just remember, Memphis Depay. Depay coming back to reclaim his number 7 shirt, right? So these three names that are being thrown out, Doc, any of them do you think, right, they have this characteristic of a world-class striker? Doc?
To be honest, I feel that really no real world-class out-and-out strikers there at the moment without a club. I mean, the key ones would be still, people like Lewandowski and all that, who consistently bang in 20-30 goals a season. None of them are out there. Vlahovic, I think so far has been doing quite well in the Serie A. I think this season he's got about 6 goals in 10 games or so. Never really want to convince me lah, right? Memphis Depay. I don't know lah. I mean, again,
coming for the number, the real goat who's going to wear the number 7, a lion, not a goat, a bloody lion.
I mean, to be fair to him, right? He has been scoring goals for Holland, right? He's been carrying Holland, and this one you need to probably confirm with Josh lah. But he's been carrying the team, the Holland team, right, with goals. Now, whether it would make a big difference to us, I have my doubts. He will be definitely, right, if he's the kind of player with that kind of mentality. He might be really wanting to come back and change things around, change people's perception of him. But if you ask me, I don't think he's going to fit into our sort of gameplay, right? I think somebody like probably Mukoko at Dortmund, that guy might be somebody who people will look at, and somebody who might fit into Ten Hag's kind of plan. But that's about it at the moment lah. I can't see anybody really filling that space at the moment. Okay, not in any transfer news that we are linked in anyway.
Okay, so we move on to a more interesting topic. I think everybody is quite gloomy about this Gakpo going to Liverpool. All right, let's talk about the Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest game. All right, later 4 a.m. Right, so Jai, are you excited for the game too? Then apa you punya expectation untuk game nanti? Besar jaringan gol ke apa ke?
Okay, this is the first game after World Cup. Memang saya sangat excited lah. I memang sangat teruja. Cuma kita teruja dengan apa yang kita boleh dapat selepas World Cup. The first game, apa yang kita boleh dapat dengan apa yang kita boleh dapat selepas World Cup. So, I hope United dapat jaringan yang lebih daripada biasa dan buat sesuatu game yang kita rasa entertain boleh kita tengok, and dan hope kita boleh mengekalkan rentak sebab biasanya lepas World Cup banyak rentak-rentak yang dah sumbang penat, letih, ada yang yang hilang fokus. So this first game is sangat penting untuk kita naikkan momentum gameplay kita, attacking kita, jaringan kita. So Whatever pun, kita perlu menang this game. Dan yang paling mustahak, saya akan berjaga sampai pukul 4 untuk tengok game ni.
Alright, terbaik. So actually, right, with regards to the United players in the World Cup, I don't think we have any issues with fatigue, right? Because any of our players that were actually playing right to the very end, so I think apart from maybe Casemiro, right? I think the rest all has been sitting on the bench only. So I'm actually more maybe worried about the rustiness of the player that that weren't in the World Cup and whatnot. Is it because they don't have that kind of like competition going on to keep their mind focused and whatnot? So I'm a bit more worried about that, about Martial, because I actually see that, I mean, in the performance of the game that day against Burnley, right? Martial also wasn't really, he was a bit rusty and whatnot, but you can actually see Marcus Rashford benefiting from the World Cup, right? No fatigue there. I think he's sharper and he's actually playing much better, right? So Doc, what's your take on the game later, and also hopefully clean sheet?
Actually, this game, I feel it's going to tell us a lot. It's one of the easier games in the teams in the bottom half, but we have struggled, especially at home, with teams that come and play a low block. Still, we're still struggling with that same problem. Okay, so this the only good thing is Dean Henderson not playing lah. So they have to rely on the sub keeper, right? So,
but that could be a bad thing. That could be a bad thing. You've been giving Dean Henderson a lot of stake. His poor distribution, poor stopping and whatnot. It could have been an advantage for us if Dean Henderson played.
Whatever said and done, he's still a good shot stopper lah. But anyway, getting back to the serious things at hand, right? And today will be probably the second time we will see Rashford, Martial, and Garnacho together. Okay, so this game for me, I feel is very important in now moving forward in the season and setting that tone for the rest of the season. Okay, we need to get a win, keep a clean sheet, and a reasonably big win, a 3-0 or 4-0 win would be something to then get you confident moving forward into the games that come. Just remember, we are playing City in about, if I'm not mistaken, or three or four games time, right?
3 games time.
3 games time. Yeah.
From
So
the FA Cup and
we cannot be like now again starting to pick up momentum. We just got to hit the ground running. Okay, I think most of the key players will be back. I think Bruno, everybody will be back already and on full steam. So let's hope for a big win and clean sheet. Although Maguire is back in town lah for tonight.
Sandeep, we win 1-0. Come on lah, brother. 3-4-0 at least lah. 3-4-0 at least lah. Okay.
But he may be right, Sandeep may be right. He might require a last-minute goal again.
Actually, to be honest, what I'm worried about, right, is the return of Jesse Lingard. Okay, I'm not saying that he has been a fantastic player. When I haven't been following Forest, but apparently their goal record, away from goal scoring, I think they only scored 1 goal, right? So I'm not so worried about that. But then the thing is about, he actually came out in an interview, Jai, Jesse Lingard, yang dia rasa sakit hati dengan Manchester United. So biasa cerita macam ni, ex-player yang kembali ke rumah dulu dia, mereka akan buat benda yang akan buat kita semua sakit hati sebagai fans. Okay, so you rasa malam ni Jesse Lingard akan menari depan Stratford End tak?
Ya, dia akan menari. Tetapi dia menari, dia dapat gol, tetapi dia tetap kalah. Whatever pun. So walau macam mana pun, yelah, kalau you tanya I pun, I am fan United. Even X datang dekat Manchester United, I akan cakap Manchester United akan menang. Walaupun you nak menari ke, you nak berjoget ke kat dalam padang tu. Yes, you are the player, ex-player. Yes, you akan buat something yang menonjol, yang boleh melihat fan-fan Manchester United. Tetapi, come on lah guys, this is United. Kita mesti menang punya. Whatever. Yalah, you nak buat tarian robot ke, whatever you buat tarian robot. Tetapi kita mesti perlukan ini kemenangan sebab momentum kita. Kita kena mengekalkan momentum kita. The first start mesti dapat benda yang positif. Itu yang paling mustahak.
Yeah, it won't be easy, Dom. They had some good results recently, in the league. I mean, before the World Cup, they beat Liverpool.
Exactly. I want this comment by Josh. I think with Bravka, I think we can actually do a good job. Clean sheet.
You saw that how he dropped the ball, almost punched the ball into his own goal.
Remember nervous lah. He's nervous lah.
Never nervous. We don't need that
First time
nervousness
playing in front
tonight.
of Old Trafford fans, dude. Even David De Gea last time, right? Remember his first season under Sir Alex Ferguson? That was like 2013 or something.
Dude, Braka is not a first season. He's a seasoned goalkeeper for
No,
Newcastle.
I mean, in Old Trafford, in the United kit. So that's the thing. You got to give people.
I don't need a keeper punching the ball to the own goal already. That's all we need now.
Okay, so guys, we'll jump straight into his score predictions. Doc, what is your score prediction for the game later?
I'm going with a 3-0. Confident 3-0 win to set the tone for the next few games.
All right, goal scorer, and of course goal scorer lah. Come on.
Okay, Marcus Rashford 2 and 1 for Anthony Martial to get him started.
Who is assisting Marcus Rashford? Who assists Marcus Rashford?
David De Gea, dude, just to shut Josh up.
Okay, Jai, score prediction nanti.
6-1 Manchester 6, Lingard 1.
Come on lah, clean sheet lah, Doc. Jai, apa ni lah?
Sebab bukan sebab Dubravka yang main, bukan David De Gea. Kalau David De Gea main clean sheet, of course. Tapi sebab Dubravka.
My prediction, Manchester United, I think we'll go for a 3-0 win lah, alright? Martial 2, Rashford 1, alright? Martial 2, Rashford 1.
Not hat-trick, Dom, come on.
Assist by Bruno, assist by Eriksen, and...
1 for De Gea lah, come on.
That one is damn funny, dog. Good one. Okay, guys, we're at the end of our show, alright? We'll be back tomorrow night with our match review, alright? So, JomUnited is back. I know we've been on a hiatus for a while. Don't worry, YouTube is still our main focus, alright? So, please share our videos, like our videos, comment, recommend our videos to your friends, share our videos with your friends, and we'll see you guys in the next episode, alright? Good night.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic.